Alright, piss and vinegar day 69. Yeah, 69. Uh, Shoulders and biceps, a little bit sick still. Don't know what's going on. Been sick for like 2 weeks, very mildly, but it does run me down a little bit. But the strength's still going up, so all good. Today I hit 35 kilos for a set of 11 or 12. Not sure which one because I don't count my reps. I count them in post, but strength is going up in all the lifts. Feels very good to be getting stronger after 2 years of getting weaker. Today I was actually thinking about a lot of things, and a lot of times my topics go on different tangents, but today's general gist is going to be kind of yard work, construction work, and building. So, as you can see, or if you will see when you watch my videos, a lot of my gym is just DIY, schizo pieces of shit, machines that I've created, and I've created a new one up in the background there. You might be able to see. And it's fun. It's good to build shit. A good percentage of us, especially if you are European, in your ancestry, you have hundreds of builders. Your whole genetic lineage, until very recently, were probably just builders. Builders, hunters of some sort, whether it be with metal, whether it be wood, whether it be engineering. And I know that in my ancestry, there is mostly just builders. Now, I'm more of a bodybuilder out of my ancestry now, breaking the line in the construction sense. My father was a stonemason, so I'm more of a bodybuilder in the sense that I build my body and I build other people's bodies as being a personal trainer. But it's good to get in touch with things that would likely be in your genetic memory, as building things, for me, gives me great joy. I enjoy doing it. It's a great thing to do. And a lot of us don't have a hell of a lot of things to do nowadays, because most things are kind of boring when you're so used to technology. But one thing that is genuinely fun and gets me out and about doing stuff rather than just sitting in the house watching YouTube, playing video games, stupid shit like that, is building. And it's good for you. It's good for your mind. It can generally be pretty decent cardio. It's good for your forearms and hand strength. It'll build that kind of man-hand strength that a lot of guys are missing nowadays, even gym bros who, until very recently I had very weak hands, even for a guy who was lifting weights, because one, I wasn't doing arm wrestling, and two, I wasn't doing any yard work. So whether it's building things or it's just generally touching up your backyard, and I know a lot of guys watching might be younger and probably don't have their own place. I don't own my own house, unfortunately. But even then, I rent, and yet I still try to, upgrade my house and backyard as much as I can. And it's good. It's good being out in the backyard or in your garage building things. It's good, especially out in the sun, because you get sun, you're out and about, it's healthy for you. Now, in saying that, unlike everyone else in my ancestry, I started off doing construction work, labor work, stuff like that. I work with my old man a bit, and I found that the first 2 to 3 hours of work was always really fun, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the labor and construction, all that stuff. But then like the 4th, 5th hour, I'd start getting tired and bored of it, and the passion just wasn't really there for me. So I find I enjoy doing, an hour or two of daily activities if I can. Unfortunately, I don't have that many activities to do. One day when I have my own house, I will. I'd love to have endless things that I could work on, because spending an hour or two working on down-to-earth kind of things is really good for you. But anything beyond that, I get bored. And it's a really good way of getting tan too. If you're into bodybuilding, part of bodybuilding is getting a tan. And it's kind of lame just sitting there in the sun, just roasting. It's too hot too, because you're not moving, you're not getting any fresh air, you're just kind of roasting. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like being out and about, moving around in the sun. So yeah, I enjoy building. It's good for burning calories, it's good for your brain. And yeah, that was kind of the topic idea for today. If you have any means to build, and you might be a 16-year-old kid that doesn't have any way of really building anything, but you might say, hey, to your parents, can I build a shelf in my room above my desk, or whatever it is, just get into it. Or in Australia, we have woodworking and metalworking in school. I didn't really enjoy that much, because it wasn't really my own. It was in a sense, because you get to take it home with you a lot of times, but it wasn't the same as building something I wanted to choose. A lot of times they made you build something specific, which is great because it makes you learn the fundamentals. But it's more fun when you're building something for a purpose. So like when I build gym equipment, it serves a purpose, and thus it is fun. It's like, oh, cool. And then there's trials and tribulations. I oftentimes build equipment, and you'll often see me build equipment that fails miserably and or almost fucking kills me. But that's part of the process, and hopefully none of this equipment ever does actually genuinely hurt me, but who knows. It has a few times. That's part of the process. It's part of the growing process in the building. And, you know, ideally you would be really good at building already, which I'm not. A really, truly good craftsman who would be able to build the things I've built from square one, like no trial or error, just straight up. They would they'd make a schematic, they'd go, all right, cool, that, and bam, it would work like straight away, or it would be relatively functional straight away. Whereas mine is kind of like a fucking make from scratch, Skipso kind of development, where like I'll randomly grab pieces of wood and put it all together, and then hope it turns out. And I guess from some divine genetic memory, I have a decent intuition for building, so it generally ends up turning out all right, albeit not the most aesthetic looking. But yeah, it's good to build things if you're looking for things to do and you want to. I don't know where I'm going with this, but building is cool. You should build. Anyway, that was kind of the topic idea for today. The topics aren't always going to be the most incredible of topics or interesting of topics, but hopefully that gives you an insight into what might potentially help you with your life in some way. And it doesn't have to be woodworking. In my case, it's woodworking. It could be metalworking. You could be enjoying tinkering on your car. You could be... I mean, hell, you could even be an artist of sorts, but ideally get out and about and do it. Get out in the fresh air, get in the sun, start building shit. It's fun. So, yeah, shoulders and biceps. My biceps are getting way stronger. I'm up to 42 kilos on the bicep curls, almost all ready to progress again. So it feels like I'm a novice lifter again. All of a sudden, all the weights are just going up like, you know, every single session. I'm not even progressing through reps anymore. I'm progressing through weights every session because I'm just progressing so fast. So really digging this bulk so far. I think I've pretty much got 2 more months to go on this bulk, and that will have me, I guess, is it December? That's the Christmas month, or yeah, I think it's December, and that's when summer really starts to kick into Australia, and then I'll start my cut because I don't want to be bulking all the way through a boiling hot summer. And Australia has a bushfire season confirmed here this year, so it's going to be smoky. It's going to be, you know, 30, 35, 40 degree days, or like, you know, 100 Fahrenheit for you Americans. And that's just not fun being, you know, 20, 25% body fat in a bulk. And I get pretty fluffy on bulks because I'm pretty endomorphic in my metabolism. So it's virtually impossible for me not to get somewhat fluffy. Now, I'm not going to do like, what's that fucking idiot? That Connor something. I can't remember the name, but there's some fitness influencer. He's like this monotone English guy, Zoomer. I mean, I'm sure his advice is sound for 14-year-olds, and he's anti-steroids, so I'll give him that. But I'm a negative, cunty person, so I hate him. So what I'm going to say is he did a bulk recently, and he basically just got morbidly obese, or became obese, and like made a meme out of it. But that's not a good influence for the youth. You shouldn't be getting fucking that fat. When you're bulking, you should, you know, granted, if you're heavily ectomorphic, maybe maximum 25% body fat max, but realistically on a bulk, the highest body fat percentage you want to get to is about 20. I permit myself about 20 to 23 because I hold fat relatively well. Like, I don't know, I guess due to arm dominance and shoulder dominance, I hold my fat a bit better than the average person. But anything beyond, you know, 23, 24, 25, absolute max. And same with the cutting, right? When you're cutting, you don't want to go below 10% as a natural because your testosterone will start to plummet. Anything below 12, your testosterone will start to lower a little bit due to micronutrients being deficient and calorie deficient. But And you have to be super stringent with your diet at that point, because if it's not 100%, you're going to have a lot of gaps. So yeah, maximum you want to get to 10% on a cut. Maximum you want to get to about 20-25% maybe on a bulk, depending. If you're like a super ectomorph, then you might be able to get to 25 or whatever. But yeah, this dude, man, I can't remember his name because I don't watch him. I've only watched a few videos, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. With me, I generally, with fitness influencers, I either really like them or I really fucking hate them. Like, there's not really much of an in-between. There's a few people where I'll see them and I'm pretty indifferent. And I don't really follow fitness influencers much at all. I only follow maybe 2 or 3. Like, I follow Elliot Hulse more from a sort of fatherly advice perspective. And then I follow Jeffrey Verity Schofield because I find his insights are actually very, very effective. But apart from that, I can't really tell you anyone else. Oh, and maybe Jay Vincent, because he's a high intensity guy, and he's one of the reasons I got into high intensity. But I don't watch him so much anymore. Although me and him are very similar in the sense that we're very unfiltered, and we'll just kind of say our mind, and we're both kind of a little bit cunty. We, very opinionated, and although the difference is I'll say things like I fucking hate someone, but I don't really mean it. Like, if I, this guy I'm saying that I fucking hate, I'm sure if we're in the room together, I'd say, hey man, what's up? But when I'm talking, just spitballing, I'll generally say I hate people. But, yeah, don't get too fat on your bulks, and don't get too lean on your cuts. And when you're bulking, you really want to make sure you're still doing cardio, which I'm guilty of. I haven't been doing enough cardio. I've been doing plenty of walking, but I haven't been doing as much cardio as I should, outside of walking and a certain other movement. But I need to start doing more cardio, because the idea that, you're gonna do cardio and you're gonna lose gains is stupid. If you're in a surplus and you burn, say, 100, 200 calories from your cardio, you're still gonna be in a surplus. Like, cardio burns a lot less calories than people think. If you do, say, 30 minutes of an exercise bike at moderate pace, you're like happy to burn 200 calories. And if you're in a 400, 500, 600 calorie surplus, you're still going to you're still going to gain muscle, you're still going to gain strength. So don't buy into this meme of don't do cardio on bulking. You should definitely do cardio on bulking, because your health markers will decline as you bulk. Your blood pressure will go up, your LDL and HDL will go up, and generally, because you're getting fatter, your estrogen will get increased and water retention will increase. So you need to be doing cardio when you bulk. It's incredibly important. I'm being slightly hypocritical because I don't do as much as I should right now, but I definitely will start upping it soon. Problem for me is I don't like cardio unless it's like boxing or light brisk walk or the other unspoken one. Now I'm doing some posing. Still don't know how to pose. I did the based pose again. I don't remember what the name of the pose is. The one that looks similar to the Austrian painter man salute. Ziz and Frank Zane and Arnold used to do it a lot, and Mike Mentzer used to do it too. But at some point, I think we're gonna get to a place in a society where you can't do that pose anymore. So, in fact, in Australia, in one of the states in Australia, Victoria, if you did that pose in public, you could easily go to jail for it. So, yeah, you gotta be careful when you want to do that potentially politically incorrect pose, because people may not know what you're doing there. Yeah, and then finishing off a rotator cuff work. I keep almost forgetting to do these at the end of my shoulder workouts, but I tend to generally remember to do it, or I'll go back in the house and then come back up and do it without recording it. If I end up skipping these, I'll do them on accessory day or on my active recovery day. But you really should be doing your rotator cuff work, especially if you have any shoulder issues like I do. But yeah, my shoulders are starting to get bigger. They're looking bulbous. They used to look very flat, but they're starting to look much rounder from this high intensity training. My back, my shoulders, and my traps have grown the most from high intensity training. My arms haven't changed a whole lot. My chest has changed a bit, but my traps, shoulders, and back have grown tremendously. And I imagine these muscles will continue just to grow more and more as I keep doing the most logical training system known to man. Alright, see you guys tomorrow for more Piss and Vinegar. Bye-bye.